iRacing League FEG Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. John Mushton in the booth with me, Ben Gilcrease, Aaron Groskopf, getting the picture that you see to you tonight. And here we go, John. It's been a long, fun season here in the FEG Series. It all comes to a close tonight where we crown a champion, and we also give away a computer thanks to the Ford Entertainment Group.
I tell you what, Ben, I completely, it slipped my mind. This was our last race with these guys, and the championship gets decided tonight. That's going to be awesome. I tell you what, we're at Hotlanta. It is absolutely hands down one of my top 3 favorite tracks, Ben, as far as the mile and a half go. I love this track. I love this car on this track. To be perfectly honest, and a little bit of history for you, my very first iRacing win came in this car at this track.
Wow, there you go. Congratulations on that, John. But
it was many moons ago, granted, but
yeah. I can't even remember where I got my first win. I've got so many, you know. Anyways,
yeah,
let's get back to the task at hand, John. Chad Coleman leads the championship standings heading into tonight. We'll talk about that here shortly. But the big thing tonight, John, is the computer being given away, and that is being led by Nelson Rivera. 1,170 laps complete versus the driver in second, Brad Bothwell, with 1,167. So
3 laps?
Did I hear that right? Yep,
wow.
3 laps. Rivera just got to have a clean race, and he'll wrap it up. But if he has problems, then Bothwell can come in and snag that FEG computer. Now,
if those two get around each other on the track, oh.
Yeah, anything goes, right?
Just throwing that out there.
Points. Back to the points. Steve Sheehan, John P., wins this race. Chad Coleman will have to finish 19th or worse for him to get the championship, for Sheehan to get the championship. And we'll go over a couple of the other instances over the course of the evening. And you mentioned something. We'll see if we can get it on broadcast a little later. There's a chance. Mathematically, there's a chance. Not only for Sheehan, but for Comstock as well. Excuse me, for Daly as well. Heading into tonight, Daly has a slight chance. Mathematically, though, it is still there. Let's take a look at tonight's track facts from Atlanta Motor Speedway, located in beautiful Hampton, Georgia. 1.54 the length of this racetrack. Opened back in 1960. 24 degrees of banking, seats around 125,000. John, tonight again, almost sounds repetitive in this series, but it's become the normal. Long run and tire saving. Whoever saves those tires the best on the long run seems to always, obviously, have the advantage when it comes down to the end of things.
Absolutely, Ben. And another thing on that line, the tires, once they start to hit about 11 to 15 laps in this car, this track gets slick. You'll see it a lot coming off of turn 4. Mainly, that's going to be our calamity quarter for tonight. Once these tires get some age on them, it's like driving on ice coming out of 4, so we'll keep our eye on that. But we've got 2 or 3 characters in this field, Ben, that have been masters over this season of saving their tires over the long runs, on those long green flag runs, and been saving those tires and being there at the end.
That they have. So this is going to be a good one as we get set to go racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and get set to run you through the racingbids.com starting lineup. Here's how we'll line them up tonight for the championship race. Josh Parker will lead us to the green flag in the 23 alongside the number 88 of Jason Jacoby.
Bringing in there third is David Comstock in the 42 car. Outside of him in the 4th position will be Steve Sheehan, one of those guys with a chance at the championship.
And then right behind Sheehan, inside of row number 3, the driver who leads the championship standings heading into tonight, cannot afford a mistake. That's the 20 of Chad Coleman to his outside. 17 is Dwayne Vincent.
Coming in 7th with a 30.306, Jordan Hightower in that 25 car. To his outside, and number 43, Doug Roth in 8th place.
Byron Daly will roll off 9th in that 08. And outside of him, 10th starting position will be E.J. O'Rourke, and the rest of the starting field. Going to scroll across the bottom of your screen there. Here we go, John. Looks like we'll start this thing under some shade as the cloud set in here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but 98 laps, plenty of time to make your move. These guys always make it exciting for us, and I can guarantee we will be on the edge of our seats almost all race long here tonight.
Absolutely. And you know what I see up front, though, Ben, is I see those guys we were talking about earlier, Steve Shee and Dave Comstock. Those two are notorious for fading to the back as the race starts off and keeping their stuff clean, keeping their tires good, and then making that charge to the front. So we'll see how they take this last race of the season. Will they do the same thing? Will they just kind of let the cars go by them and eat their stuff up and take their time? Or you think they're going to fight really hard for what they've got tonight?
You know, we'll just have to, we'll have to wait and see, John. I don't want to answer that because they always prove us wrong.
You know how
I'll tell you what,
here in Louisiana, it's called pleading the fifth, Your Honor.
I'll tell you one thing we are going to see, and that's a race. Real quick, John, let's talk to the driver who leads the most laps heading into tonight, in perfect position to grab that FEG computer. This is Nelson Rivera. Ben Kilcrease up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Ben, I got you.
Nelson, here we go. Final race of the season. You're sitting in a perfect prime position. That new computer's going to look good on your desk. Just got to make all the laps.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't believe I've gotten this far. You know, it's always been in the back of my mind. You know, that would be nice to win, but now to come this close, I'm pretty excited. I hope to just obviously have a clean race, see what happens.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. I know you got to get busy here. We'll talk at you soon, hopefully after the race and after you're the proud owner of that new FEG computer.
I appreciate it, fellas. Enjoy.
There you have it, Nelson Rivera going for the computer here this evening. And here we go, John. The rest of the field going for a win at Atlanta. Final race of the season. It's been a fun one. We thank you for being along for the ride, all right here on the Sim Racing Network. They stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. Race number 12 is underway.
And I tell you what, Jacoby is not letting our pole sitter Josh Parker get out too much of a lead there in that Jack Daniels car. He's right on his bumper. Behind him is Comstock in the 42, and behind Comstock we've got Steve Shee in that 56 car.
They'll race single file off of turn 2 to the back straightaway. We find the first battle back in around the 5th position. It's between the 25 on the inside. That's Hightower racing Dwayne Vincent. Then you see Byron Daly right behind them as they'll work their way off of turn number 4 to the flag stand. It's going to be Josh Parker leading lap number 1, but he's got a challenge from Jason Jacoby.
Hey, it looks like Jacoby really wants that lead early in this race, Ben. He's right on the bumper of the 23 car. Looks like he's going to put some pressure on him coming out of 2, going down the backstretch. He might take a peek to the inside, trying to take that lead away.
Jason Jacoby putting pressure on somebody. Is it repeat day, or are we just seeing the norm here in Sim 500 action? Jacoby always makes it exciting. That's where he gets the name Mr. Excitement from. Josh Parker leads, Jacoby second, and David Comstock, John, in that 42, starting to reel in these guys as they're side by side now for the lead in 1.
And Parker makes quick work of the number 23. I'm sorry, excuse me. Jacoby makes quick work of just Parker. I'll get it out eventually, folks. He takes that lead with not much of a fight there. I got to kind of wonder, did Parker just let him go there, Ben, or you think Jacoby's just that strong in Atlanta?
And I think Parker's just saying it's early in the race. I'll let you have it. Over in turn 2 there, John, if you were watching back in the field, Byron Daly got a piece of the wall. He's trying the outside line. We'll see if he does it down here in 1 and 2 again in that 08, but he really likes running the top. He'll go to the bottom here, but he was trying to get the top rolling here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And John, I think once we see the tires start to heat up and some rubber start laid down on that bottom, we'll see these guys start inching towards the top of the racetrack.
That's right, Ben. I'll tell you, it's a little early for the top right now, but I was running some practice laps with these guys, and believe it or not, the tires will last longer if you ride middle to high on this track. I don't know what it is. I can't explain to you. I'm not a physics dude. I'm just a Cajun from down south, but I noticed that over 15, 20 laps in that middle of the high line, the tires lasted a little bit longer.
So we'll see over the course of this run how well that all shapes out. We have the master of saving tires. He runs in the 4th position right now. We're talking about Steve Sheehan, the driver that wants to win this championship. And I mentioned we're going to talk about his car, John. He's run that gray paint scheme all year long, but I think over the past week or so, he's finally put the shark on the front end of that car, and Not only is there a shark, but it's got the human smile.
I love it. I love it. We had made some mention of that weeks ago that, it's too bad we don't have the Jaws theme song that we can play. Unfortunately, copyright issues, so we can't do that. But because he's just notorious, like you said, Ben, he's one of those guys that just hides in mid-pack or so and takes his time, and towards the end of the race, all of a sudden, he's just picking them off one by one.
Absolutely. So Sheehan sits fourth. He leads Jordan Hightower, who's gone with the black scheme this week in that cat machine, and right behind him, the other cat driver, it's Byron Daly in the 08. Then you have championship leader Chad Coleman, Dwayne Vincent, E.J. O'Rourke, and Bobby Terrell. That rounds out the top 10. Up front, it's still Jacoby, Parker, and Comstock, and they are now tail to nose, John, in a three-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, the 88 just wiggled a little bit coming out of 4. We're on lap 8, so it could be tires. He might have driven just a little bit too hard, or he might have just lost his focus for a second there. But he's got a mirrorful, and I mean an absolute mirrorful, of Josh Parker in that 23.
So Parker trying to get back by the 88 of Jacoby. He let him go earlier on, and you can see the reason why now. He said, go burn your stuff up. I'll catch you back in a lap or two. And here he comes back to the inside. Josh Parker looking to challenge Jacoby again for the lead in turn 1. They'll race side by side. I don't think Jacoby's going to give it up as easy as Parker did. And they'll race really tight off turn 2. Jacoby, with the momentum from the high groove, will take the lead back, and down into turn number 3, Jacoby continues to lead at Atlanta.
We do call him Mr. Excitement, and he's not a pushover. He's not going to just give it up. You're going to have to really work him and work his nerves and his patience to get by him. And here we go again. Parker's going to duck that car down the inside. Ben come across start line, and he's going to take it back in, going down into 1.
I think it's going to be harder and harder to pass as the run goes on, John, unless you're able to get to the outside and get to the room. And Daly again, John, trying it outside, and it's not working for him. He gets the wall off turn 2.
Yeah, I think it's a little early for that, but you can't fault the guy for trying. He just has to remember that wall's not going to move no matter how hard he hits it with his car.
And how many times it's going to stay there the whole race.
I've tried a few times myself to move that outside wall, and it refuses to budge, Ben. I don't understand it.
Meanwhile, Jacoby still up front. Looking back to the field, everybody's got themselves singled out. There's a nice train from about 10th on back, including looks like Shane Ewing and Doug Roth, Nelson Rivera. We'll keep an eye on Rivera over the course of this race. Remember, John, he's going for that brand new computer. He's got 3 laps on Brad Bothwell heading into tonight. Bothwell sits 29th right now. So he's Bothwell, I don't know what his plans are to make 3 laps up on Rivera, but he's got some work to do, as we had an incident up front where Comstock, who was running 3rd, got a piece of the wall, and that's something you rarely see out of the 42, John, is a mistake like that.
We sure did, and I tell you what, it was we got a fight for the lead up here, Ben. It looks like 23 wants another piece of this, with Jacoby down there going into 1 and 2. He's down on the inside, but again, Jacoby's got that middle of the high line working for him. Oh, look at that! My goodness! Oh,
boy, I think Parker was watching the replay of the midgets at Eldora in the JGR All-Season Sim Series, powered by Interstate Batteries. He tried a slider off turn 2, didn't quite get the 88 clear, and Jacoby doing everything he can to fight back on the outside. Watch Parker, he'll send it down really deep into turn 1 right here, trying to clear him off 2. He gets in the gas, he tags the apron, slides up in front. Jacoby puts the bumper to him while he's sideways, and they're still battling fiercely for the lead.
Lap 14 is this fight, folks. Lap 14, and these two are going at it like it's lap 97. Just keep your eyes on this. Looks like Parker's had enough. Meantime, behind them, Comstock got a little bit of the apron there. So he's got the wall, he's got the apron. I don't know if Dave's... here we go again with the fight up front. Wow.
So Parker back to the inside of Jacoby, trying to clear him off turn 2. He'll slide up in front of him again. Jacoby has it, and they're both on the wall. They're both crashing and into the wall, and here comes the Shark to the inside to take the lead. Sheehan to the inside in a 66. He'll slide up in turn 4. There's contact for the lead again as he and Parker go side by side. Parker with the run off to turn 4, and he'll take back the lead at the start-finish line.
We've got 3 cars up front that are determined to either take each other out or take the lead. Whichever happens first, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, that was exciting right there. You know, it happened right there. You know, Jacoby and Parker got into each other, and Sheehan was right there. We got a caution on track.
First caution of the night, and it couldn't have come at a better time to give us a rest, a breath of fresh air here as the caution out. First time here in the championship race at Atlanta, and it looks like it will be for the number 7 machine of Ryan Cole Wilson.
Actually, it looks like the 6 got up in the wall and came down and caught Denayer too.
Yes, a lot of incidents happening there on the front straightaway as the incident started with the 7 over in turn number 4. He washed up into the 2 of Mike Kelly, and contact was made around he goes, and the caution didn't come out, John, until they went down into turn 1, and Wilson lost it coming back up onto the racetrack.
Wow.
But nonetheless, putting us under, slowing us down rather for the first time tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ryan Cole Wilson, Dan Denayer also involved, and Jonathan Lockhart in it as well, and Denayer after the fact got back into the 7, maybe showing a little frustration there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dan's had some bad luck in the last couple of weeks, Ben, so he's probably a little frustrated.
Yeah, boy, it almost seems like every early caution we're talking about Denayer and no fault of his own as leaders and everybody else down pit road for the first time tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll see how everything's going to shape up here. Looks like Tommy Ryan has missed his pit stall. He'll head straight through, so he'll lead us off of pit road. He'll win that race, but the race behind him going to be close. It's going to be Parker with the run to the line. Parker, Sheehan, Comstock, Daly, and it looks like Jacoby going to take this time to fix some of that damage on the right side of his machine. We'll take this time to take a quick break. You won't miss anything on Corner to Corner Action. You're watching the championship race in the FEG series on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back after this.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium? Check. Formaldehyde? Check. Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway, where Josh Parker has won the race off pit road. And boy, oh boy, John, this one's been a good one so far as we close in on about the 1/5 mark of this race. These guys, yet again, in this series have not let us down.
No, sir, not at all. Tell you what, if the first 20 laps of this race are indicative of the next 78 laps, I'm going to need some extra oxygen bottles and possibly even a medic standing by, please.
So, boy, oh boy. Just a couple of little updates here. Jason Jacoby, who was in that battle for the lead, he stayed on pit road to fix his damage. Josh Parker won the race off of pit road. Steve Sheehan will start second alongside of him. David Comstock will restart this race third. Fourth will be Byron Daly. Fifth to the championship leader, Chad Coleman. Update you on Nelson Rivera, still on the lead lap. He sits 10th in this race. Brad Bothwell also sits still on the lead lap, 29th. It doesn't matter where you finish, John. You just have to finish the most laps, and both those drivers still in a dead heat with Rivera 3 laps ahead of Bothwell heading into tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that over the course of the run. That, again, is for a computer given away by the Ford Entertainment Group. Jeff and the guys over there in the FEG do a great job, and we'll talk about them over the course of this run as well, as they've been a big supporter of us and this series here this season. Pace car to pit road. First restart of the night. Going to go to Josh Parker, and he gets a good jump as they race to turn 1.
Yeah, it looked like the 66 might have either fell asleep there or spun his tires, but he got a bumper full of the 08 behind him. And that gives the 23 Jack Daniels machine a good run there. And in the meantime, back behind him, they're battling pretty hard back there for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, it looks like they're.
That they are, as championship leader Chad Coleman gets to the inside. That'll bump him to 3rd as they run to turn number 3 and 4. I thought they were going to go 3 wide there. Daly thought about it for a second, backed out of it. Now Sheehan gets the run off of turn number 4. On the outside of Hightower, he'll clear the 25, racing back to turn number 1. Sheehan back to 4th, right behind the driver who he wants to have a bad night in Chad Coleman. Coleman's going to have to finish really bad. He's almost going to have to, I don't want to jinx anybody, but he's almost going to have to crash in order for Sheehan to win this championship. Anything's possible. We've seen that in this series. Sheehan, though, is just going to have to really work hard to get the win and hope that Coleman does not have the best of nights here at Atlanta.
That's about the sum of it all right there, Ben. In the meantime, we got Daly still trying that I-line out there, kind of pinching Sheehan down just a little bit there, trying to get a run coming off of 2. Looks like he might get a little bit of a run there going down the back stretch, head into 3. So we'll give Daly that spot and move Sheehan back 1 more.
Daly back to the inside in 3 and 4. He makes that high groove work in 1 and 2, and here comes Hightower. He'll stick his nose to the outside. He'll also make the outside work down in 3 and 4. He'll run right up to the bumper of Daly. Not out of the equation here on the front stretch at Atlanta. A little bump draft from Hightower, one cat to another, and off of turn number 2 there. Looks like Sheehan may get hung out to dry on the inside, but he'll be able to clear Vincent here. No, I say that, and Vincent races up alongside. So Sheehan, we've seen this though, John, many races in the past. This guy right here, he'll fall back outside the top 10. We won't talk about him for the whole run. And then once we get to pit stops, you know, he's challenging for the lead.
Absolutely, and I think what happened there, Ben, is he probably got a wake-up call earlier before that first caution. Say, hey, wait a minute, this is a little too early for me to be doing this. So we'll probably see Steve just take it a little easy for a little while, because we're really early in this race, and this is usually when he likes to shine his best there. So he's going to kind of ease off a little bit there. He's going to let another car go by. It looks like the 12 cars are getting position on him. But it's not, like I said, it's not a surprise. We kind of expected this with the 66.
Absolutely, that's simply getting by there. And the number 12 is, we're just 1/4 of the way in this race as Byron Daly charges up to the front, charges to the outside of the 20 of Chad Coleman, and he'll look to get the 3rd position away as Daly looking to work his way back to a podium position. The driver that's been trying every line on this racetrack's tagged the wall a couple times. The right side of that car doesn't look the prettiest on the racetrack, but it looks still pretty quick, John, as he's worked his way up to 3rd, now trying to reel in Dave Comstock for 2nd.
Yes, the trademark Sim Racing Network comment on that is it's an on-track engineering adjustment.
An on-track engineering. I don't know if we as SRN trademarked that or if that's just you, John.
No, okay. Well, a man can always dream.
Nonetheless,
yeah,
he's doing everything he can to make that car more aerodynamic friendly on the right side.
And it's working for him. I mean, look at this. The guy's all the way up to 3rd. And, you know, we went over this last time. I mean, I think it was, 2004, 2005 sometime. Earnhardt Jr., same track, man, slapped the outside wall with that right rear quarter and gained like 3/10 on the track all of a sudden. It was insane.
I'll never forget we did a street stock race at Southern National as we go on board with Byron Daly. He's watching a challenge for the lead there. We did a street stock race at Southern National, John, a test broadcast testing out some stuff. And under caution, one of the guys on the backstretch just turned dead right and hit the wall. He was running third. Well, you remember where he finished, John?
Yes,
he
I
won
do
the
remember
race.
that. Yeah. It's you know, people joke around about that, but I mean, it works in real life. You know, it's I'm not an engineer, so I can't explain it, but I have seen it with my own 2 eyes work. Of course, in my case, it never works the way it does for those other guys. When I hit the wall that hard, my car's like, dude, I'm out, peace. You know, and my night's done. You know, so
It's all about the. You know, I don't know how you're supposed to hit a wall and make it right. Nonetheless,
very carefully.
You know, it's not one thing I'm going to try as the second caution of the night comes out as the field works their way through turn number 1 and 2. As we look around the racetrack, don't see anything just quite yet. Huh.
Maybe debris caution? Is this our first iRacing debris caution?
That is quite interesting. As
And it's not an admin yellow either.
yeah, so nonetheless a caution.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, for the number 1 of Chris Boo. Had some, I don't think he had any contact with the 16. Maybe there was some net code there. Heading down into turn number 1, that got him sideways, and wow, hell of a save by Gaboo there, and
it really was.
The sim just thought we needed a caution for that. He kept it going, no harm, no foul. As we get the replay pulled up for you, and Gaboo shows his dirt track skills down in 1 and 2, putting us under our second slowdown of the night as we close in on the 1/3 mark of this race here at Atlanta.
And we should see all of our leaders come in, get some tires here, some gas. Got some shade on the track now. Track temps down to 89 degrees, Ben.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty shocking coming from Atlanta.
Right?
As, it's only 77 degrees ambient temperature as we take a look at the interstate batteries weather at the track. 77 air temperature and the track temperature down to 89. And boy, it's really getting dark out there. Could possibly see that drop a little bit further as it's a partly cloudy day here in Hampton.
But see, the thing is iRacing's world. You know, the same place where you go to New Hampshire in January and it's 132 track temperature with a 97 ambient temperature, but then when you go out to California, Southern California, I might add, it's like, you know, 67 degrees outside with a 78 track temp. It's iRacing universe for you.
It's crazy how that works. Is Josh Parker gonna win the pit race, or the race off of pit road? David Comstock comes out second, third to Byron Daly, fourth to Chad Coleman. Jordan Hightower is fifth. As we take a look back at this season, John, boy, it has been a fun one. We started off at Daytona. Doug Sigmund was the winner there. We got some notified on NASCAR.com due to a minor incident on track, I'll say.
Thank you, Stu Livender, by the way, if you're listening. Appreciate you, buddy.
Then we went on to Rockingham, where Steve Sheehan picked up a victory. Justin Fuller then won at Richmond. Byron Daly picked up the victory, race number 4 at Homestead. Then it was Sheehan back to a win at Pocono. And Larry Pace won back in Texas. Then Boris Cook won at Talladega. In that, just a great race there. That was a fun one to watch.
I wonder what socks he was wearing that night.
Well, I had to get him some Sim Racing Network socks. Race 9 went to Trey Edson. Chad Coleman picked up the victory back in Michigan. Dave Comstock won at Indianapolis. Byron Daly at Auto Club. And Comstock won last week at Phoenix. And I said race round number 12. It's actually round 15 here in the FEG series. So my apologies there. It's been a fun season, a fun ride here in the Sim500 Esports Racing League.
It really has. I have really enjoyed these last few weeks. You know, yeah, that thing. Who was that? Was that Kligerman in that Daytona race?
Yeah, Kligerman was involved.
Yeah,
He was being pushed when he got turned in front of literally the whole field.
And that was so terrible to see that happen, but it got us famous. It made us famous. So you know, we'll take that. We'll take that. You know what? It's that old saying. Any publicity is good publicity, right?
Absolutely. We turned the lights
on our
off.
pace car.
So I'll ask you now, John. What's going to happen on this restart? Everybody going to calm down, get some laps in, or are we going to race like we saw in that opening run? How about
I predict that every car on the track, the driver will mash the gas pedal, go down the straightaway, and hopefully turn left. Now, there are a few guys that have decided they might try and turn right a couple of times, and that didn't work out for them.
Well, Gaboo, he turned right there, John.
Hey, he did a good job, did he not, though?
Yeah,
I mean, he
did
made
a
it work.
great job. How about that guy that...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, how about that guy who stayed in, fixed some damage on the last round, took 2 tires to try and get some track position on this restart. 88 of Jason Jacoby back up inside the top 10. But up front, it's Josh Parker, who has had a pretty stellar race. Had to contact with the wall, had a fierce battle with Jacoby earlier on, but nobody has really been able to shake him since then. He'll lead us back to the green flag alongside David Comstock, our second restart of the night here at Atlanta. Just past the 1/3 mark in the championship race. Pace car to pit road. Parker Comstock front row. Boy, Parker really slowed him down there. He gets in the gas. We're back underway, and a good restart for Byron Daly from that second row inside.
Yeah, I tell you what, Parker was playing little mind games there. Checked everybody up, coming off of 4. So that's going to give him a decent little restart. But look at that. Daly, who has bounced his car off the wall a couple of times, like cuts it down hard left. Coming out of 2, going down the back stretch. You can pull down the inside bend, try and take that lead away.
Boy, Daly turned it left as hard as I've seen anybody do it tonight, down in turn number 2, and he's to the inside of Parker. Boy, Parker must have gotten a bad restart, a bad run through 1 and 2, because he's lost the lead to Daly. Going to lose second to David Comstock down in turn number 1 and 2. And here comes Chad Coleman, the championship leader, all over his back bumper. And boy, Coleman's got a mirror full of Jordan Hightower, and Ewing is sideways and into the wall.
My gosh. We got cars everywhere back here. And we're going to stay
Ewing,
green.
Yeah, he's off the racing surface, so we're still green as of now. But boy, it is a dogfight, a scramble from 5th on back. They are going at it.
Absolutely. EJ O'Rourke, I might talk to him yet tonight. Talked about tonight, I should say. He's done snuck up there inside the top 10. In the meantime, the 88 of Mr. Excitement, Jason Jacoby there, he came in and took 2 tires, trying to make a track position bend, but I don't think it's working out for him because he is steadily sliding back. He restarted 7th, and he is all the way back to 11th now, it looks like.
4 tires, I think, going to be the way to go tonight, John, if we get a long run like that. Now, if we got another quick caution, everybody came in, took 4 again, he'd look like the smartest man alive. Up front, top 4 are almost hooked together off of turn number 2. They're so close, tail to nose. Byron Daly leads David Comstock, Josh Parker, Jordan Hightower, and Chad Coleman. What a battle. These guys are about to go at it here at the front of this field. Look at them, tail to nose down the front stretch.
That's amazing right there. They're chained together coming out of 4 there. Oh, it looks like the 25 got into the back bumper of Parker in that 23 Jack Daniels machine just a little bit, but didn't upset him too much. In the meantime, they're going to bunch it up again coming off of 2. I don't know if Daly's holding them up or what, but it's like he checks up a little bit, come off the turn, and just everybody behind him just bunches up.
Yeah, the whole field now is tail to nose, and Dwayne Vincent going to take advantage of that. And at 17, he says, you guys bunch up down there on the bottom, follow each other. I'll make my own groove up top. And he's looking to get to the outside of EJ O'Rourke. And did you see Hightower? He is all over the bumper of that number 42, John. And if I'm Chad Coleman, the championship leader, and all this is happening right in front of me, I'm pulling out and I'm dropping outside the top 10.
I'm thinking the same thing, man. This is it. But this is Chad Coleman we're talking about, Ben. He has never taken it easy in any of these races we've watched him run in point lead or not. He's not here to take it easy. He's here to win. And right now he's thinking, well, gee, if these 4 guys tie each other up and wreck, I've got the win coming to me.
That's true. Just hope they go up the track and not down in front of you, right?
Roger that, man. I've got a great video.
Parker. Sorry to cut you off there. Parker got the apron. Yeah, and then Comstock gets to the inside of Daly. A lot of stuff going on up at the front of the field. They're side by side for the lead, side by side for 4th, and it gets close behind them there. And there's a crash behind them at the back of the pack, and it's a big one involving Doug Sigmund, our winner at Daytona. and others.
Yeah, that's a huge crash right there. I didn't mean to walk over there, bud, but I don't know how close Hightower came just now, but it looked like he was just about to wreck. It was so close. But yeah, that's a pretty nice little wreck.
Close call nonetheless.
Sigmund got up on the wall and came down. Yeah.
Yeah, Sigmund gets a piece of the wall and
some Olympic pirouetting there. What do you call that? Synchronized dancing.
Synchronized. Yeah, that looked. I'd give it a 9.5.
Yeah, I was thinking a 7 though. I mean, you know, they didn't finish right beside each other.
Got the
they start off real sync.
Planners, Peanuts, and the Navy cars involved. That's
oh no,
full on American there.
Right, America.
So
yeah, they're done. It looks like they're going to pull behind the wall. Leaders are on pit road. Here we go.
Bad break for those guys, but gives us another chance to take a quick break. We'll also take a break from our coverage. We'll head to corner action. You won't miss anything. We'll be back right here on the Sim Racing Network. It's championship night at Atlanta.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Byron Daly wins the race off of pit road. You saw that on our corner-to-corner coverage as we get set to turn the lights off here, John, and go back racing lap 44 of 98, halfway here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, or just about halfway, I should say. And boy, John, I tell you what, we've said it a couple times already, but these guys tonight have not let us down on the excitement level. They have been going at it for not only the lead, but for every position on this racetrack. They have been racing as hard as we've seen them race, I think, all season long.
Absolutely, Ben. I couldn't agree with you more on that one. I think the only thing that would make this better for me is if E.J. O'Rourke were driving a Coke car right now, because then you'd have the 23 Jack Daniels car right in front of the Coke car. Jack and Coke. Get it?
Oh, he'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. John Mushton.
Can y'all guess who the resident Cajun is down here in South Louisiana, home of alcoholism? I'm just saying. But anyway. So we're going back to green here in a minute.
I was going to say O'Rourke is sandwiched between a Miller and a Jack Daniels car.
Oh, hey, there you go.
He's got alcohol
right there.
around him. So here we go. Under caution for the third time. About to have our third restart of the race. It'll be Byron Daly, Dave Comstock, Jordan Hightower, Josh Parker, Dwayne Vincent, E.J. O'Rourke, Nelson Rivera, Bobby Terrell, Chad Coleman, Doug Roth. That's the top 10 as we're set to fire them back off and get some more laps under our belt here in Hampton, Georgia. Pace car to pit road for the first time tonight. A driver besides Josh Parker leads us back to the green flag. And holy cow, what a restart by everybody.
Wow. I'm wondering if there's going to be a black flag there. It looks like the 42 beat the 08 back to the line. But I don't know. I think they fixed that, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ben? He can do that now as long as he just stays to the outside.
Yep, as long as it's not by a big margin, I think he'll be good. He just timed it perfectly there. Comstock, a master at restarts. And he showed it there as he's to the outside of Hightower now. Jordan Hightower going to try and clear him off turn 4, but the 42 of Comstock fights back hard. And look at E.J. O'Rourke in that 41. He's up to 5th, John, and he's looking to make some noise in the top 5. We haven't talked much about him tonight. I mentioned him earlier. He started back in 10th and has just quietly been hanging around. And here he comes. Here comes Hightower, though, challenging Byron Daly for the lead. They'll race side by side into turn 1.
I don't know where Hightower got that boost of speed there, but it looked like he was a faster car coming off the tube by a long shot. Pulled right down the inside of Comstock, then down the inside of Daly there in the 08. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this pass off going into 1 and 2 right here. Daly's been really good on that high line in 1 and 2. As you can see right here, Benny's holding his own right there. He's going to get the momentum come off too and probably just keep that lead.
Daly gets the momentum just like he said, John, and he clears him down into 3. A close call there, but he cleared him nonetheless, and there's a crash behind and a caution again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 4th one of the night. And oh my goodness, Richard Swavely has barrel rolled tremendously down in turn number 3 and 4, and he'll roll back over on all 4 tires. But holy cow, that car was up in the air for a good 200 yards.
Oh, wow. Let's not play the in-car camera on that one because people might get ill.
Yeah, we have to do the gyro to keep everything stable. That was a good 20 barrel rolls down in turn number 3 and 4 for Swavely in that mellow yellow number 38. He's another one of those drivers that has great runs going and just ends up getting caught up in some bad luck. For 4th caution of the night for something that happened way in front of him there. Looked like Jatina in the 14 got a piece of the wall and kind of piled up behind him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looked like I didn't see what number it was because I was riding on the roof cam there. But yeah, the 14 got up into the wall. And unfortunately, in Atlanta, it's like you're hitting an invisible partition right there. When you get that close to the wall and you touch it going into 3, your car loses a good 30, 40 mile an hour speed. And, you know, on a restart like this, you're so close to everybody. Everybody behind him had no chance at all.
Exactly. So here we go. Pit stops happening again. And oh boy, some mixed emotions on pit road. And we're going to have a swap up front in a little bit of track position. It looks like Doug Roth going to take 2 tires, and looks like he'll lead us back to the green flag.
Now, for those of you that are wondering, yes, we've had guys take 2 tires already in this race, but the big difference was that was Jason Jacoby after, what was it, almost 12 laps on green there, Ben?
Yep.
So they only did 2 or 3 laps this time around, if that much. So these 2 tire guys that, you know, Doug Roth, I think, was pretty smart here, Ben. His left sides aren't nearly as bad as Jacoby's were. So I think if he plays it smart here on this restart, he should be able to hang on to that lead for quite some time.
Not a bad call at all, and I thought Brian Wortman was going to stay out and maybe lead us back to the green flag, but he heads down to the pit road. By the way, John, if you've been keeping up, the GoFundMe for his NASCAR license did meet the goal. And
fantastic.
We're going to give
That is so good to hear.
That's awesome news. We're going to give some awesome kick-ass stuff away tomorrow, including a hat signed by Brad Kozlowski. That'll be live right here on the Sim Racing Network. Really looking forward to that.
You got time to explain that to some of our fans there, Ben, what we're talking about?
Absolutely. We had a GoFundMe. Joey Jatina and the group over at Sim500 set up a GoFundMe for Brian Wortman to get his NASCAR license to travel around with some teams and visit the NASCAR tracks throughout the season. And I think it was right at $1,000 for his license and some other miscellaneous. I think it was a drug test or something like that. Coming to $994 or something, and something close to that rather. And boy, our great community here in the sim racing world come together and donated to the GoFundMe page, and it's reached $1,000, and you can still, I'm sure you can still head over there and still donate if you'd like to get in on the drawing. Anything will help as long as we can get Brian to the track in 2019. That's what he loves to do, and we're excited to be a very small part of making that happen here at the Sim Racing Network. That's awesome, man. That's really good news to hear. I know that he was really, really, really excited about this when they first put it together for him. So it's always good to see stuff like that. This community, Ben, you said that a minute ago. The sim racing community. I've been a part of this for, my goodness, 23 years now, and it never ceases to amaze me how close. I mean, you always hear this dude did that or this dude did that, and then bad mouthing each other, but in the end, we're all a big family, all a big community, just like the real NASCAR world. And it's so good to see when we all come together and do something nice for people like that. Absolutely. And great cause, great guy. And we're going to have some fun tomorrow, giving away some great stuff. Next Tuesday, John, we're done here in the FEG series, but SimFest, the 2019 inaugural SimFest with the Super Late models and the Pro Late models as part of the inaugural Hometown Hero Series tour, gets kicked off 7:30 p.m. Eastern right here on the Sim Racing Network. Pro Late models 75 laps first, racing for $50. Super Late models 125 laps. I'm sorry, $125, racing for 200 laps. So here we go. That's next week. Right now, though, Doug Roth stays out on 2 tires. Could be the call of the race for the driver of the 43. He leads us back to the green flag and down into turn number 1. Got a decent restart there. Ben did the 43, and tell you what, it's good to see that car up front, that number up front. Behind him, though, is Mr. Byron Daly, who fought hard to get the lead like he did, and I think he's going to want it back here shortly. As we go down the backstretch, he pulls right up to that inside rear quarter on the 43, and he's going to take the issue to him down there in 3 and 4. Boy, Roth kind of ran him down to the apron there. He didn't want to give up the lead easily, but he'll have to surrender to Daly as Daly takes it back on the front straightaway. E.J. O'Rourke got out of shape, still out of shape. They're 3 wide behind him going into 1 to get it sorted out. Everybody's still clean and green back there as Byron Daly up to the lead. Doug Roth got a good run off turn number 2, and here comes Jordan Hightower. He's got the freshest tires in this field. I do believe Daly took 2 tires there, John, and here comes Doug Roth trying to challenge him back on the outside. That's a great fight right there, but look behind them. Coleman, Hightower, and Comstock just about to go 3 wide, it looks like. I'm thinking Comstock thought about it, but might have decided not to, but we got a great fight on our hands here. Pretty much we got 5 now, they make it 6 cars fighting for the lead. A great battle, and boy, Josh Parker got a good run off turn 2, saw the outside open on Comstock and stuck his nose there, and he's going to try and challenge Comstock on the outside as Jordan Hightower tries to clear Doug Roth on the inside in turn 4. They'll go side by side down the front straightaway. Hightower in turn 1 clears him. So Hightower back up to 2nd. Roth will go back to 3rd, and he'll challenge Chad Coleman, your championship leader, for that position. And here comes Hightower closing back in. Here comes Parker going 3 wide with the championship leader in 3. Coleman says, well, I don't want it that much. The championship a little more important. I'm saying I cannot believe Coleman didn't back out of that thing, man, a little sooner than that. If I'd have seen him duck down the backstretch like that, I'd immediately got off the gas. But that's just me. I'm an old fart. I don't really, I'm not all that aggressive anymore. But in the meantime, back up front, Hightower has found his way up to the back bumper of Byron Daly coming down the backstretch. Right up on him right now, going down into 3 and 4. Daly keeps it down on that white line going through 3 and 4 right now. He's going to make Hightower take that high side to pass him, I think. We got a slow car that kind of caught me off guard there. Sorry about that. But coming down across the line, still going to be Daly, but Hightower is right there on the bumper, Ben. Well, I tell you what, last time down the back straightaway, Parker cleared. Coleman slid up in front of him, and Coleman gave him a shot, turned the 23 sideways on the back straightaway in front of this snarling pack. I thought we were about to see a crash. Here comes Coleman back to the inside for 4th, challenging Josh Parker. And look at this field. There's Sheehan in the mix of things, 3 wide further back.
This is an unbelievable fight, man. I mean, this is just like...
Oh, boy, here's Parker now, three wide.
Now. 3 wide into turn 1. Wow. Parker didn't lift it off. Coleman didn't lift. It looks like they're going to sort it out.
They're going to crash. Parker up in the air. And a vicious one. Sheehan trying to snake through. Nelson Rivera. Rivera's in it. Rivera's in it into 22. Nelson Rivera, a driver in the fight for the computer, trying to finish every lap of the season, is involved in a crash along with 15 to 20 other cars.
I'll tell you what, Ben, that stopped cars on the backstretch. I mean, we had guys who just stopped just to miss that wreck. That was a huge accident. Folks, we're going to take a few minutes here, gather our breath back up, and hopefully we'll have this sorted out and tell you who's still in this race and who's not. But it's going to take a couple minutes to see who can get around to the pits and get their cars fixed.
Watching the replay now, we knew it was coming, John. It was just a matter of time. Parker was racing very aggressive, and he was doing everything he could to clear the 43 off turn 2, and just didn't quite get the job done. It was right in front of your championship leader. He was lucky he was not involved. But my, oh my, what a crash. Parker flew through the air about 2 football fields. Nelson Rivera flew through the air upside down. My, oh my.
It looked like Parker's car bounced off of 2 or 3 cars also. If I'm not, yeah. I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny, but
Sheehan, John, he did make it through one of the championship contenders, but with the amount of cars in that crash and Coleman making it through, I think now all Coleman should be able to do is finish the race, and he should be good. We'll wait to confirm that. But nonetheless, the big one on the back straightaway here at Atlanta, taking out a handful of drivers, including one in the fight for the FEG computer. We'll check on him and the rest of the field right after this. You're watching the Sim Racing Network. We'll go corner to corner.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium? Check. Formaldehyde? Check. Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to the Sim Racing Network as Jordan Hightower wins the race off of pit road. Byron Daly comes out second. Dave Comstock is third. Chad Coleman fourth. And Scott Stanley up to fifth. After that, well, we'll call it a field clear, John, on the back straightaway, as many of the top competitors involved in that and many throughout the field involved in that, and a lot have pulled it behind the wall due to that crash. We'll try and sort everything out. The big story, Nelson Rivera, 1 lap down, John. He got all the required damage fixed, but he is still racing with some damage, so we'll see how he does over the course of the next 35 laps. Green flag back in the air here at Atlanta.
And we're off to a good start there. Looks like Hightower got a pretty decent restart there. Daly pulls down in front of Comstock and takes second place. And we're off to the races once again. Let's see how long it takes these guys to start mixing up like they were a minute ago. Ben, these guys have not let up one single iota this entire race.
You know, in any other series, I'd say after seeing that, everybody's just going to take a chill pill. We're going to calm down. We're going to race it out.
We've got 3 wide
as clean
behind
as
them,
possible. But yeah, that didn't take long, did it? 3 wide already, and already up front, they're going at it for the lead again. As here comes Byron Daly all over the bumper of Jordan Hightower into turn 1. Daly up on that high groove. He likes that middle groove, and oh, he almost slid up into the wall there, but still gets a good run. Got the momentum down the back straightaway. Can he make a move on Hightower?
Yeah, that outside move coming off of 1 and 2, you got to be real careful with it. If you lose focus at all, you will slide up in that wall and do some damage. But boy, look at that momentum he pulls coming off 3 and 4. But at the same time, behind him, Comstock wants a piece of this action. So we got Daly fighting on the outside for the lead. Comstock's right there behind the 2 of them. And if either of these two, Hightower or Daly, mess up and slip up, make a mistake, Comstock's going to be right there to take advantage.
How about that power move for Daly down in 3 and 4? Drove to the outside of Hightower. He didn't want to follow him, and he'll try it again here. Look at this. Daly is really making that outside work, and he's trying to just drive up around the outside of Hightower. Hightower going to walk him down the front stretch. Daly to the inside. So we'll see what Daly can do on the inside down here in 1 and 2. Don't expect him to beat the 25, and he'll lose some momentum to the back straightaway. He'll have to fall back in line behind Hightower as the top 4 are Telto's, and even Chad Coleman there starting to reel these guys back in and become part of the equation. As they work to the back or to the front straightaway, Jordan Hightower continuing to lead at the flag stand. Steve Sheehan sits back in the 6th spot, battling with a couple drivers back there. But up front, still Byron Daly trying to get the outside, and he's got a nose, John, into the back straightaway. Here comes Daly.
I tell you what, Daly's going to make this outside work for him one way or another. He's been getting really good, strong runs coming off of 3 and 4 on that high side there, Ben. We'll see what he can do with it this time, coming down the front stretch and across the start finish line.
Daly, give him that lap lead, lap 69. And here at Atlanta complete, we go to 70, and we're in the closing stage of this race. Here past halfway, we're getting closer and closer to the final quarter of this race. We're already in the final third as Daly doing everything he can to take the lead, and he'll clear the 25 down in 3 and 4. Byron Daly in the 08 gonna go to the lead.
We expected to see that, though, Ben, late in the run, late in this race anyway, the outside groove really being beneficial to these guys, especially if you know how to drive it. I mean, you can't just send it in there and hope it sticks. There's a way to drive that outside line, but if you do it right, you get a lot of good momentum coming off the corners there, and he made it work for him. He's got that lead now, but I tell you what, Hightower ain't giving up. He's right there on Daly's bumper going to 3 and 4.
Hightower made up 5 car lengths on exit of turn 2. He had to get on the brakes. He ran up on Daly so hard. So that almost makes me think, John, that the draft is a big part, as we know it is here in these cars. I didn't think it would be a huge deal here at Atlanta, but boy, did Daly, he must have just got a good run, because I don't think the draft is that powerful. Nonetheless, though, Daly may be in conserve mode, and that's kind of making Hightower want to get back around him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Daly. I don't know if maybe he, like you said, he's trying to conserve fuel or something here. They're inside the pit window. I mean, he should be able to go all the way on fuel, but I tell you what, you know, he's his lap times have dropped off too. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, it's always happened when Daly gets out in front. John. In the clean air, Daly's car is just slow. It's slower than it is in traffic.
It might be that right side damage too.
Yeah, look at the whole field starting to close in just because Daly's out in front and kind of slowed down. Now, I don't know if it's a product of the car or if he's doing this on purpose to save his stuff, but nonetheless, when Daly gets out in front, it just slows everybody up behind him.
Yeah, it does. As they put the 43 car another lap down. That's Doug Roth, who was unfortunately involved in that last accident there. They're quickly approaching Nelson Rivera, so that's going to put Rivera 2 laps down. And Bothwell still in the lead lap. That doesn't look good for Nelson in the computer.
Yep. As of right now, Bothwell is just 1 lap away from getting that new FEG computer. So
well, he has
Rivera,
to finish the race though too. So.
That's right. Still a long way to go in this race, and Rivera's kind of hoping for a few more cautions and not more green flag runs because that car is not up to speed under green.
Not at all. He's a good 30 mile an hour slower than everybody around him. In the meantime, Ben, I think Hightower's getting a little frustrated because he's tried to go high on Daly. He's tried to go low on Daly, and it's just not working for him. In the meantime, look who's back there in 5th or 6th, I believe it is. Sheehan's poking his nose down low. Sheehan wants to get back in this fight too, it looks like.
Sheehan, it's that time of the run where his car starts to come in, and he'll slide up to 5th in front of Simley. Simley gonna, I thought he'd try a crossover there, but he just poked his nose out, saying, hello, I'm still here. Up front, though, look at Daly. Not only is he leading the race, but he's running that middle groove, John, which is going to make it extremely hard for anybody to get around him, especially on that inside line.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's making that car really, really wide, and I think Hightower's just getting frustrated with him. In the meantime, Hightower cuts a hard left coming out too, but slides up and has to get out of the gas for fear of taking himself out and Daly. In the meantime, Dak gets, we got a car spin on the backstretch down there. I don't know if we're going to stay green or not, but Comstock got down the inside of Hightower there, going down in 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to take that position. It looks like we're staying green.
We're staying green. That was Glenn Campbell in the 44 going around on the back straightaway. Lockhart there, a lap machine. Phil gets around him in turn number 1. Daly able to open up about 6 car lengths due to that little slip up off turn 2 with the 25 of Hightower. Hightower now trying to battle Comstock to get back around him, and look at Sheehan all over the bumper of that number 20. That's the driver he's chasing for the championship, and Sheehan wants to get around him. He wants Coleman to fall about 20 or so positions further back, but Coleman's just had a great race here tonight, and looks like he's going to secure himself a top 5 position if everything continues to go his way.
I don't think he's going to put up much of a fight for that position right there with Sheehan. He knows what he has to do to finish this race and to win the championship, and that's not necessarily put up a huge fight right now. There's still a lot of time left in this race, so he's going to let that 66 get on by him. In the meantime, I don't see a whole lot of action going on anywhere else on the track really right now, except for back there in about 13th or 14th. It looks like these guys are going to calm down a little bit. And as I say that, Sheehan's poking his nose down there underneath that 25 car, and he's thinking about taking away that 3rd spot there, Ben.
Absolutely. Sheehan's car is coming around now. We've got to the 20 to go mark, and that's just about when Sheehan turns the boosters on. And that number 66, he's got the Shark on the front to fit the Jaws steam, and he's trying his best to get to the inside of Hightower as they'll battle for 3rd.
I'm sorry if I caught you off there, man. I love that theme song. When you watch this guy drive, and we get to this point in the race, I can hear it in my head, and it just makes so much sense. It really does. But up front, though, if you look at this, Daly slipped just a little bit coming out of 4 that last time by. I saw his hands on his wheel, fix the car's head in there, and he got a little loose, and that gave Comstock a shot to get up onto his rear bumper now. Let's see if he does it again coming out of 4 this time. We're at that spot, Ben, like I said earlier. Right about now on this run is when the car gets a little looser and looser and looser every lap coming out of 4, and some of these guys can handle it and some of them can't. So we're gonna see who can and who can't here shortly. And look at that! Comstock gets right down the apron and cuts that car really good coming off of 2 there. Ben, we got a challenge for the lead.
Yeah, we do. Comstock not quite going to be to the inside, but it'll go back to the inside, and 3 and 4 behind them. Sheehan will clear the 25. They'll go side by side for the lead. Comstock trying to make that bottom groove work, but we know how strong Daly is in that middle to high groove. This is going to be a tough battle for the lead with some lap traffic just ahead of them. They're going to catch Swavely right off of corner exit or corner number 2. Comstock does the sportsman thing, gives Daly some room. Boy, he could have used Swavely easily there as a pick.
Absolutely.
But the driver behind the 42, a hell of a sportsman, and he does a great job continuing to battle side by side. Byron Daly, look at this race for the lead.
That's one thing we've always been able to say about David Comstock. He is a sportsman, and he practices good rules there. Very sportsmanlike, so gave him lots of room. You or I probably would have done something differently, but David's not like that. He likes to win without any kind of controversy at all, and I think that's what he's trying to do tonight.
Glenn
he can
Campbell
sit it down there to 3.
Really going to make it close there. Campbell gets up and into the wall, and Sheehan says, I think there's enough room for 3 wide on this racetrack. And here comes Hightower back in the mix. Oh, boy, did Daly get a good run off turn 4 there on Comstock. Comstock sent it down into 3, trying to maybe clear the 0-8, John, and it really affected his corner exit down the front straightaway, and that's allowed Sheehan possibly get around him.
Absolutely. It looks like Sheehan's going to take that spot. He had a little drafting help, if you will, from the 25 car of Hightower, and now Sheehan's going to peek down to the inside of the 08 of Daly, and oh my goodness, man, he drifted up a little bit. They got really close there, but he's not going to be able to make that stick down there. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to Daly coming off of 4.
Sheehan got loose over in turn number 4 in the top 4. Throw a blanket over him. Tail to nose, side by side. If you didn't know any better, you'd think we were starting the season back over at Daytona. A big wiggle there out of Daly, but he didn't even let up, John.
No, I don't think he got out of the gas at all there, and so he's gonna lose a little bit of momentum. But oh man, I tell you what, Sheehan's so close to him down there in 3 and 4, Ben. It's making me nervous.
Some great racing up front with 15 to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Down into turn number 1 to go. I'm sorry, 13 to go. The race 98 laps, not 100. Off of turn number 2, Sheehan making some ground up down low, slowly but surely. But we've seen it before, John. One mistake on that bottom groove, and Daly's going to run back around you on the outside.
He doesn't even need a mistake. He's just really, really good on that middle to high line. He has been for the entire race. It took him a little while to get that groove to work for him the way he wanted to, but he's been trying it since the get-go.
That he has, and here comes Comstock. Look at him. He's way up the track down in 1 and 2. He might have found something. He gets a good run to the bank straightaway. Here comes Comstock, the 42 now coming alive with 11 to go this time at the line. Top 3 right there, all in the battle for the win.
I really thought Comstock was going to give a shot to the bumper of the 08 there, try and send him down in that corner a little harder than he wanted to, but he didn't. Again, he's a sportsman. So we still got, basically, we have a 3-car fight for the lead right here, but don't count out Hightower back there in 4th place, because if these 3 guys mess up, he's right there to pounce on them.
11 to go, and I hope they're priming up the camera at the start-finish line, John. This is shaping up to be a finish for the ages. These guys have been side by side for a quarter of this race.
Yes, they have, and they're not showing any signs of letting up now. Going down to 3 and 4 right here. Sheehan edges forward just a little bit. He's got a little bit of advantage right there. He's going to pull up, make a little contact, but Daly stays out of the wall, but he does give up the lead, and it looks like he's going to give up 2nd spot for 3rd, but I think he's going to be okay right there, and he's still got plenty of time to gather his thoughts, gather his car back up, and get back in the fight for the lead.
Sheehan got a real good run through the center of 3 and 4, and he did everything he could to try and clear the 08. I think he misjudged it a little bit. Great job by Daly keeping that out of the wall. Don't think he'll be too happy with the 66 about that move, but nonetheless, Sheehan up to the lead, and Daly sideways off turn 4, trying to hold on to that machine. Hightower able to get to the inside of the 08.
I think the 08's tires are starting to give up on him now, and tell you what, that's too bad. We were less than 10 laps to go. He had a really good shot at winning this thing, but he's starting to fall back a little bit. In the meantime, Sheehan has checked out. I don't even believe this. He's got a good 5 car length lead over Comstock already, and it's just stretching out further. But then again, That is Sheehan for you, folks. He saves the machine and saves it, but always stays right there in the hunt. And then, like Ben said earlier, with 20 to go, he lets her rip, and that's what we're seeing now.
8 to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Nelson Rivera being caught by Sheehan. And that will put him, if he is able to make it to him, if Sheehan is able to make it to Rivera, that'll put him 3 laps down, tying him with Brad Bothwell for the most completed laps in this season. We'll have to go then to race officials to see how we'll sort that out. There it is. Nelson Rivera now 3 laps down. He can't lose another one.
I don't think he's in danger of that, Ben. He's fast enough to keep. It took them almost 10 laps to get by him this time from the last time they passed him up. So I think he'll be okay. But like you said, they're going to have to go to some sort of a tiebreaker to figure out who's going to win that computer. In the meantime, 3 wide back there for it looks like 3rd place.
Boy, some close calls there. They make it through nonetheless. Can Comstock close in on Sheehan? Did he save enough? Does he have enough left in the Monster Energy number 42? 6 laps to go, and he's closing in on him. Here comes Comstock, closing that gap, but can he get there in time?
This is something we've seen between these two so many times before, coming down to the last 5 laps of a race, and it's these two battling it out up front. I tell you what, I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to who might come out on top this time. They're both looking really, really good in the latter stages of this race.
You know, I think these two did a little bit of battling at Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken, last week, where Comstock led only 1 lap. But hey,
one that counted.
Won the race. Doesn't say how many laps you led on the in the record book. Only who finished up front. I think Sheehan out for some redemption though in this race. He opens up the lead a little bit to the back straightaway there, coming to 4 to go. Right now, Comstock will need a mistake from the 66 in order to close that gap back down.
Yeah, and that's not something we normally see out of Steve Sheehan as a mistake. He's been cool, calm, and collected this entire season. Even when he's been down the hole, close to going a lap down it. I think it was it Rockingham where he was almost a lap down, or actually a lap down, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so, he doesn't make very often mistakes very often. So if he just keeps doing what he's doing here, nice and smooth in and out, I think this race is his.
So here we go. Now 3 to go for Sheehan. He's doing everything he can to try and win this championship, but he was battling, or is still battling, a fierce competitor, Chad Coleman. John, we did the math earlier. For Coleman to tie Sheehan, he'd have to finish 19th. If Sheehan won this race, Coleman right now sits 5th. So Sheehan will need a catastrophic failure from the 20 if he wants to win the championship. He's going out, he's going to win the race if he keeps it clean for just 2 more circuits around Atlanta.
That's right, 2 to go here. Not cross. I'm sorry.
It would be popsicle sticks.
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, sir. 2 to go, and now it's 1.5 to go, really. And I think Sheehan's got this wrapped up, barring any kind of massive mental failure on his behalf. And we're pretty much single wide all the way back to 7th or 8th, it looks like there, Ben.
Yep, so it calmed down at the later part of this race after we got some run on the tires.
You weren't kidding.
Yep, that it was for sure. And you see all the lap cars the leaders have to deal with as we get the white flag. Final lap in the season. Final lap of the race. He's won 2 already this season. A half a lap away from making it 3 in 2019, 2018, 2019 in the FEG Series. Puts the shark on the hood for the championship race, and boy is it fitting. Steve Sheehan off of corner number 4, going to come up short in the championship, but going to win the race in Atlanta.
That's a beautiful run right there, man. Beautiful run.
Comstock comes home 2nd, 3rd to Jordan Hightower. Daly, after that fierce battle, will come home 4th, and see everybody lining up to congratulate Sheehan there. What a race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congrats go to Chad Coleman, your championship, or your champion here in the Sim500 FEG series. We'll talk to the champ, Sheehan. The rest of the top three will find out who's going to be the owner of a new FEG computer. We'll go to corner coverage so you can see Sheehan burn him down for the third time this season.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway, where Steve Sheehan, victorious here in Hampton. Chad Coleman wins the championship. Unofficially, Brad Bothwell will win the FEG computer. We'll talk to all of those drivers, beginning with the podium finisher tonight. And John Mushin has made his way down to pit road to talk with the driver who was, boy, in the mix, 3 wide at times, all over the track. Jordan Hightower is with John Mushin.
That's right, Ben. I've caught up with Jordan Hightower down here. Jordan, my man, what an interesting little run we had tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty eventful to start with. You know, get 15, 16 laps and a caution and come out, so that kind of sucked. But after everybody wadded themselves up, it was pretty clean there at the end.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, man. What was your view on that massive crash back there that kind of cleaned out the field?
I didn't even see it. I was all windshield. Me and Byron were having a hell of a battle up there at the front, so I didn't even know it really happened until, people on TeamSpeak started yelling that there was a big crash.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. Well, look, man, you did great tonight. You were fighting for the lead a lot. You had a really fast car. You got anybody you want to thank for your third place run?
Everybody on TeamSpeak for running me clean. David and Byron and Chad and Alan is back there somewhere. But yeah, most of us ran toward the front. Alan not so much, but we had a good race overall.
Well, thank you for your time, my friend. Congratulations on a third place run, and hopefully we'll see you for another round of racing somewhere along the line.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
There you have it, Jordan Hightower with John Mushton, and we'll let John work his way down the pit lane where he'll catch up with, a driver who we never see make a mistake. Made a couple tonight, and it may have just cost him the race in the long run. He finished second tonight. 42 of Dave Comstock is with our John Mushton.
Yeah, I've caught up to Mr. Comstock. I'll tell you what, David, you had a great run going tonight, man, but it looked like you were having some trouble early on figuring out exactly where the spot was for your run on Atlanta.
Yeah, just the first run, I put it in the wall, just letting it just float off the corner naturally and just release the wheel too much and put in the wall off of 2 like an idiot. So it really didn't hurt the car any. It was driving the same after that. pit crew fixed it, and I was just trying to just search a little bit to see where the grip was at that moment to try to go for the lead there, and just pretty much ran like a bridesmaid the whole race. Didn't matter who got in the lead. I was running second.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you. A bridesmaid. Yeah, we were discussing your what Ben and I like to call on-track engineering adjustments there, where you slap the wall a little bit.
That's right. That's what I was doing. Yeah.
That's right. You weren't an idiot, man. You were being an engineer. That's a smart guy.
No,
Congratulations.
But I messed up and I got the fender when I did that.
Hey, look, man. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it helps. But you had a great run, though. I mean, it's good to see you up front. Almost reminiscent of last week between you and Sheehan. But he came out on top this time. You got anybody you want to thank for your second place run?
Yeah, with Steve, congrats to him. He did a better job saving his tires there. He was able to lay back in the weeds and pounce on all of us there, drive up through all of us to get that win. So my tires were shot, so I had nothing for him. But congrats to him, and thanks to Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the series all season long here, and Sim500 for putting on great leagues all year long for us. Sponsors in the car, Aftermath Motorsports, with them, all their support, their help week in and week out. Racingbids.com. If you go check out on Facebook, live auctions every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All kinds of racing, NASCAR stuff, hero cards, door numbers, diecast, hats, whatever you're looking for. They got all kinds of really cool stuff there. So go check that out, as well as sell with Racingbids.com. You got some stuff you want to go try to sell yourself and make some money, side cash. Go check out that as well. You can post up your stuff there too. Monster Energy, Gary Mercer Trucking, JD Lair, JDR Graphics, EJ Brakes, Hick and Jicks, you guys broadcasting, all the fans out there. Thank you guys.
And that was David Comstock, our on-track engineer there, / driver for the 42 Monster Energy vehicle for second place there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ben has caught up with our race winner, Steve Sheehan, in Victory Lane for the Old Schools Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview.
That I have. And Steve, first of all, let's congratulate you on the win. A perfect season, second in the championship. And yes, we did see the shark on the front of your nose, and yes, it fit perfectly with your drive at the finish of this race.
That's awesome. I was listening to a race once, and I remember you guys talking about, putting a shark there with the shark teeth. So I figured it'd be pretty funny to add the human teeth with the big smile, because that just seemed perfect. So I'm glad you guys saw it.
It was perfect nonetheless, just like your race tonight. Had some little mishaps, but nonetheless a perfect showing for you here at Atlanta. You fall back like we've seen you done many times, and then you're just here at the end. Just a great season overall. A great race here tonight. What's your plans going forward, Sim500? We're gonna see you around still.
Yeah. Yep. This was I really, as I've said all season long, I really appreciate the professionalism and the way this is run, both by you guys calling the races and administration. It was a really smooth transition for me to kind of get my feet wet, and I've been running the Wednesday night series as well. So I did this K&N series, and tomorrow night I'll race. I'm really going to try to continue to try to get in that chase for the Wednesday night series. So I'm really not going anywhere, and I'm going to try to progress as traditional as possible. Maybe the season after this one or next one, I'll go for that Cup Series.
There you go. Well, you're doing a great job and definitely got some speed. I mean, you beat the best of the best all season long. You beat the best of the best tonight as well. We congratulate you on your win tonight. Who do you want to thank for putting you here in Victory Lane?
Well, first of all, I got to say congrats to Chad. He's run, an awesome season, picture perfect. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we have the same amount of starts, and I know I missed a race, and I know I had a bad couple races, and that's all it took for him to have a 70-point lead going into the last race. So it just shows you, how good he's done, how smooth he's been. So congrats to him foremost, and just thanks to you guys, and just happy to be here. I'm having fun.
Sounds great, Steve. Thanks for the kind words, and we congratulate you yet again on a great season and a great race here tonight at Atlanta, and good luck in the Kick-Ass series as well.
Thank you, guys.
There you have it. Steve Sheehan, third win of the season here in the Sim500 Esports Racing League Ford Entertainment Group series. And now I'll turn just over as we talk to the champ, Chad Coleman. Boy, that sounds good, doesn't it, Chad?
Yeah, that sounds real good.
What a great race tonight. You had some boys. I know you had to be sweating bullets at some point, but you didn't back out much. You were up there. I could definitely tell you were going for the win. You weren't backing down any. But man, some close calls tonight. Talk about what it is like as a championship leader heading into the final race, knowing that a very tough competitor has a mathematical shot. You just had to hit your marks perfect.
Yeah, having a little bit of a gap made it a little easier. But yeah, there's always that thought because we had a pretty big field tonight. So if we go out and get caught in like an early crash or something, then it's pretty much over from that standpoint. And of course, when you got somebody of Steve Sheehan's caliber, like right there behind you in points, or even with somebody like Byron Dalius, those guys are always going to finish up front. So you got to be on your A game every week. You can't really slip when you're racing with those guys. And so it made for a fun deal. I think Steve missed the race. We were gaining. I was gaining on him pretty good, like the previous 3 races. But when he missed that race, it gave me a little bit. It gave me an edge for the point still. But it's always fun when you can race with guys like Steve and Byron and David and all these guys that run top 10 in this league. It's a lot of fun, good competition.
Absolutely, and listen to your stats for the season. I mean, not too bad. 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. So you were definitely there pretty much every race, and I think you got caught up in a couple crashes. Took you out of contention for those top 10s a few times. But man, oh man, just almost a pretty picture perfect season. Now you probably want to pick up a couple more wins, but nonetheless, perfect season, and lands you here in victory lane, or in the championship victory lane, I should say, champion of the FEG series. Chad, who do you want to thank for your support all season long and tonight's race?
I got to thank Joey and everybody that puts on this deal, and thank the guys from the Ford Entertainment Group, Jeffrey Ford, for doing all this with the computer and all. And congrats to whoever wins that deal. I know it was pretty close with the problems that Nelson had tonight. So thank them. Thank you guys for the broadcast and everything, because most of us go back and we do watch this every once in a while, even though you do say tell the nose. Well, we try to overlook that as much as we can. And but yeah, just just a little bit of everybody. Takes a lot of people to make this deal work, and that's a lot of fun once the race had a green look at the end.
Well, there you have it. Chad Coleman, your champion, was tail to nose with most of the drivers all race long. I had to throw that in there to bug you, Chad. Congrats on the championship. Good luck in all the other series you're racing in as well.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There you have it. Champ Chad Coleman in victory lane. Didn't win the race, but he finished tonight in a good run here at Atlanta, and a perfect run all season long. And now, John, let's take a moment to just thank everybody behind the scenes here, all the admins, Bobby Wetzel, Joey Jatina, the whole admin crew, and also our sponsor here for the Ford Entertainment Group series, Jeffrey Ford, on the premises here tonight, and we'll drag these guys up and have a chat with them. Joey Jatina, what a great season here in the FEG series. What do you have to say as the owner? And boy, just these guys didn't disappoint in one single race all season long.
Well, first I've got to thank, of course, Jeff Ford and Ford Entertainment Group for stepping in here and sponsoring the series. But most important, Bobby Wetzel. It was his first series to be an admin, and I think he did one heck of a job. So hats off to Bobby, and thank him so much for everything he did this year.
Summed it up perfectly there, Joey. And now we'll turn over to Jeff, who has been a great supporter of us here at the Sim Racing Network, everybody at Sim500. Jeff, we thank you for your support all season long, and I think you've got a little present for Brad Bothwell for having a great season, completing as much laps as Nelson Rivera, but winning there in the tiebreaker at the end.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank Joey for having me on board, and of course, thank you guys for broadcasting the series there. And yeah, it's been a great season. I look forward to working with Joey and you guys a little bit, maybe a little bit more down the line there. When me and Joey started talking about doing this sort of deal, I kind of wanted it to be something to where everyone had a shot based off of participation. So it was a little bit different, probably than other series where usually the top guy gets it. But I thought this would keep enthusiasm going all season long. And I want to go ahead and first off, congratulate Brad Bothwell for outlasting everybody else, and he's gonna go ahead and get a brand new FEG PC sent out to him. I do want him to go ahead and send me his address. I've been with Brad for a little while, as far as him racing in a couple of my events there. So I wanted to say congratulations to Brad, and anyone else out there who wants a PC, they can go ahead and contact me through iRacing itself, through Jeffrey Ford, as you know, and also on the logo that you guys throw up. They can use any of those ways to contact me as well. But great season. It was fun working with Joe. It was fun working with you guys. And once again, thank you to Brad Bothwell for his longevity and the long season here and putting forth the most laps. From what I understand, there was a 5-way tie, and of course, me and Joey talked about a few tiebreakers in that event, and it's a good thing that we did because I guess it came down to that. Congratulations, Brad.
Thank you. There you have it, Jeff Ford and Brad. Boy, that new FEG computer is going to look good on your desk, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Actually, I just messaged Jeff last week about trying to get ready to. I was asking some questions about some stuff I needed for my computer, like would be a good upgrade, and I don't think I have to worry about it now. I can just throw my 1080 Ti in his machine, and I should be good to go.
So, hey, look, Brad, if you don't have enough room at your house for that new computer, let me know, buddy. I can help you out.
I'm sure you would.
Congrats, though, Brad. A perfect season, completing the most laps, and a lot of people say, well, that's not that big of a feat. 1,265 laps turned in 15 events. That's pretty astounding.
Yeah, I was think 3 shy of every lap, I believe. I think I did every lap except for 3.
That's amazing. Well, we congratulations on the great prize. I know you'll enjoy. Jeff sends out just the best quality computers in all of the iRacing service, and congrats on that. Congrats on the great season, and good luck in the future endeavors here at Sim500.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm going to thank Joey. I want to thank Bobby. You guys for putting on a great broadcast, and I would love to thank Jeff. He's been a great guy. So thank you guys for the whole season.
There you have it. Brad Bothwell, winner of the new FEG computer, and he is going to love that thing, John, as we get set to head out of Atlanta here. I do have one more thing coming from the league owner, Joey. He's requesting the microphone one more time. So when the boss speaks, the boss gets it.
That's right.
I don't think I like that too much, that intro. But no, what I wanted to do, and I apologize, but you guys, I want to thank y'all so much for everything y'all are doing. I'm excited to have, when Mitch came to us, Rolo, I guess middle last year, about the partnership with the SRN. It has taken off that now we're obviously all of our series exclusively are with you guys, and I can't thank you guys enough. Before I go, I want to tell everybody out there on the FEG computers, we have 3 of them. That's how Jeff sponsors us. You buy computers. We buy a lot of them. But anyways, thank you all again, and congratulations to Brad, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night in the kick-ass Winter Xfinity Series.
There you have it. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for
Thank
the kind
you, Joey.
words. And we thank you for partnering with us here at the Sim Racing Network. I think we mend together well, Sim Racing Network and Sim500. Just a great season overall, John, and the FEG series here. We were looking forward to the Kick-Ass series, finishing that and picking up the old school Sunday series and the Trans Service Cup series coming up on Mondays as well. Just a lot of great things in the works here at the Sim Racing Network. We finished this season off after a great one. What's your thoughts here from final race at Atlanta?
My thoughts are simple. I want to thank you, Mitch, and Aaron, and the rest of the guys at SRM for bringing me on board for this. It's been, honestly, I wasn't real sure, Ben, if I was going to enjoy sitting and watching a race versus driving in races. I have honestly had more fun these last few weeks doing this with you guys than I have had in iRacing in a long time. And that includes tonight, where, as I told the boys behind the scenes, folks, I had my best run in the A Open going in a long time. I qualified on the pole at Michigan, led most laps. I had a 4-second lead. Then I looked at my phone and said, uh-oh, I have to go broadcast. So I parked it and left. But no, seriously, all joking aside, Ben, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Thank you guys for all the help you've given me over the last few weeks. And thank you for letting me continue to be a part of this from here on out.
Well, we appreciate you, John. We appreciate Mitch Rollo, our executive producer, and we appreciate Aaron Groskopf.
Absolutely.
We'll call him our rookie producer, but he's doing a great job behind the scenes and getting the picture that you see to you. He'll be taking over the Sunday series and the Monday series coming up, and we're really excited to have him on board for that. We thank everybody for tuning in, all the racers for providing us some great content over the past 15 weeks, and we can't thank Jeff Ford enough for sponsoring this series and getting that brand new computer to Brad Bothwell. We know he's going to enjoy that. If you want to enjoy what Brad's going to in a couple of weeks, just contact Jeff Ford over at the Ford Entertainment Group. He'll get you set up. If you're looking to get into racing competitively and professionally here on the iRacing service, Sim500 is where you need to go. And if you need any information on us, the simracingnetwork.com is where you can find all that. Next Tuesday, SimFest, the inaugural running and the inaugural event in the Hometown Hero Series. Registration still available at the simracingnetwork.com/SimFest. $500 purse up for grabs, and we're paying $10,000 over the course of the 2019 season, nearly $10,000. So that'll do it for us in the championship race. For Aaron Groskopf, John Mush, and I am Ben Kilcrease saying good night from Atlanta. Congrats to Steve Sheehan. Congrats to our champion, Chad Coleman. And congrats to Brad Bothwell. We'll see you next time right here on the Sim Racing Network. Good night from Hampton.